Good morning, everyone. It's not easy to be the first speaker because people are still surfacing. And this is not going to be an easy talk unless you're a scientist. I'll do my very best to make it simple and straightforward, but I won't succeed fully.
Is the mic working? Can you hear it? Can you maybe try to look at the mic?
I'm all wired up for it.
No, you're wired up for the film, but not for the mic.
Oh, I see.
Is that better?
Okay? Yes, that's sound good. If you turn to the web, which is a very dangerous thing to do, the person who founded Wikipedia should be taken out and quietly hanged. You will find all sorts of things about nitrate in the diet which are somewhat alarming. And here's a selection of things taken from the web suggesting that nitrates in the diet are very, very bad for you, and in fact they are cancer causing. And if you're an organic gardener or organic farmer, one of the fundamental principles of organic farming or organic gardening is you do not use nitrate as fertilizers. There are good reasons for not using nitrate, and I'll come to them briefly at the end, but is it scientifically proven that it is hazardous to have nitrate in the diet? Now, to explain why it was thought that it was hazardous, I have to give you a very short chemistry lesson. Now, chemistry is not the most popular of subjects at school. Some people have pleasant memories of chemistry classes, but I'm afraid it's not altogether like that. And what I'm going to say is absolutely essential for you to understand what will follow. And the form of nitrate that we are most familiar with is potassium nitrate. You can call it salt. Never mind. Sorry, it was upside. No, never mind. You can call it saltpeter. If you're American, you spell it differently, or niter. And the formula is K, that's potassium, NO3. And it is completely harmless. It won't do anything for you. It occurs naturally in the soil, and if you want to improve the fertility of the soil, you add potassium nitrate, and that will increase it. But when you take something harvested from the soil, it will inevitably contain some potassium nitrate. Now, when you try and simplify a subject, you can often simplify it to the point where it becomes untrue. Now, I'm going to simplify it, and I will be economical with the truth. So if you know about these things, do not shudder at some of the things I say, because I have simplified it in the hopes that it will make it comprehensible to people who are unlucky enough not to have a scientific background. Now, closely related to potassium nitrate is another substance, potassium nitrite, here. One of the most unfortunate things is that the names are so very similar that you can slip from one to the other and no one will notice. And I saw a TV program recently in which someone who works on this seemed to me that she was slipping from one to the other without getting it right. And I'm not sure about that, but it is very easy to confuse, but you must not do so. You will not understand what I say unless you bear this distinction in mind. Because whereas potassium nitrate is harmless, potassium nitrite is not. It is hazardous. And the danger of ingesting nitrate is because it can be converted into nitrite. Now, how is that conversion brought about? Well, there are two ways. You can heat it. And if you heat potassium nitrate, you end up with potassium nitrite plus oxygen. Now, that's why saltpeter is used in gunpowder, because it provides lots of oxygen, and the sulfur and the carbon in gunpowder burn and make gases which occupy a large volume, and we get an explosion. Now, physiologically, that doesn't have any significance. But the second way of converting potassium nitrate into potassium nitrite is significant as far as we are all concerned, because there are bacteria which produce an enzyme which will bring this about. Very simply, at body temperature, without any difficulty whatsoever. And where are these bacteria to be found? They are to be found in the mouth, particularly under the tongue. Now, why are they there? Well, I'll maybe come to that at the end. But it's quite normal, you know, it's not a sign of lack of dental hygiene that you've got these bacteria in the mouth. You would be a lesser person had you not got them. So they're very good. Now, what is the significance of this? When you eat food containing nitrate, some of the nitrate will be converted into nitrite in the mouth. Not much, but enough. If that passes into the stomach, which it will do, because that's where the food goes, the conditions are acid. And in the stomach, nitrite reacts with amines, which occur quite naturally in our food, and convert them into nitrosamines. And nitrosamines are extremely carcinogenic. That's why it's thought that nitrate, see, I'm getting it wrong there, nitrate in the food is hazardous. So that's where the danger comes. But we can avoid this, because if you eat a lot of vitamin C and a lot of broccoli, very good for you, broccoli, do eat it. That will react preferentially with the potassium nitrite and convert it into quite harmless products. So there you are, that justifies all that you've said to your children about eating up their greens. Fully justified. We can understand it chemically, why this is the case. What else will potassium nitrite do? Well, it's a pretty versatile substance actually. It's a very effective antibacterial agent. That's why we've got these bacteria in the mouth. Because they are friendly bacteria, but if you have unfriendly bacteria, the potassium nitrite will kill them. So that's why we've got the bacteria. And it's particularly effective against Clostridium botulinum, which is a pretty deadly thing. It is also hypotensive. By hypotensive, I mean that it will lower the blood pressure. So potassium nitrite is a mixture. It's both good in as far as it lowers your blood pressure, but it's bad in the sense that it could give rise to nitrosamines. Now, in terms of its effectiveness against Clostridium botulinum, for those of us old enough, and I don't think there's anyone here who will remember this, the word spam conjures up a food that we used to eat during the war, not something you get that's unpleasant on your computer. And spam was a form of luncheon meat sent from America to Britain, and it saved us. And the gastronomic highlight of wartime Britain was spam fritters. Absolutely lovely, absolutely lovely. And if you look what it says, contains sodium nitrite. Now don't worry about the sodium, that's the same. Sodium nitrite. And that's to stop Clostridium botulinum developing within the spam, as we've been using it for many, many years as a way of stopping the bacteria which produce food poisoning. So that's right.